Hey guys, welcome back. Advocates for Justice, foreclosure defense, paralegal service. But today we're going to talk about some other stuff. So it's nice to be back. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And now it's time to get the hell back to work. So today we're going to talk about something different. I don't want you guys to think that foreclosure defense is the only thing that we do here at Advocates for Justice, paralegal service, even though it says that's what we do. We do other stuff too. Tonight we're going to talk about a different subject. Are you facing a credit card lawsuit? How about a wage garnishment? Yeah, we're going to talk about those two things tonight. So let's just jump right in. Credit card lawsuit, we're going to start out with that one. Did you know that the attorneys use the same strategy that they're using in foreclosure? Yep, the same strategy that they use in foreclosure. So for instance, like the application that you fill out for the credit, for the line of credit, is actually processed through the Federal Reserve for that line of credit that they're talking about. And that's the same thing they do when you sign a promissory note. They process it through the Federal Reserve and they're trying to make it look like you owe them all this money. So the defense against that is kind of going to be the same thing that we've been doing in our foreclosure defense. So you can file your counterclaim, or you can use my jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. That mess up just about anything in state court. But if you want to mess with them, when they come after you and file their lawsuit against you for failure to pay an alleged credit card debt, okay, you can file your counterclaim in their lawsuit. And we don't usually do this in the foreclosure situation, but in this situation, it's a great idea. I mean, actually, in a foreclosure situation, it's a great idea too if you don't have the money to pay to start your case in federal court. But when you do this, it causes a problem because you're going to add the attorneys to your counterclaim and then file your counterclaim right in their case. And that messes up the whole program that they're doing, because now they're a party to the case. They can't litigate the case they're a party to. They can't represent themselves. So you little kind of tie them up in a corner with their own stuff. That's what we like. That's how we do it here. So you can file your counterclaim, or you can use my jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit, or just make your own challenge of jurisdiction and file that in their case as opposed as your answer. Because remember, you never want to go into court answering to the fraud they're saying you did or didn't do. Okay, because when you argue the fraud, you're stuck in the fraud, you're still arguing the fraud. So what you want to do is you want to go into court and respond. Now, there's a huge difference between answering and responding. When you answer to all the crap they got on the paper, and you mark all that stupid crap that they're going to use against you later. Or you can respond by filing your lawsuit against them fools, or your counterclaim in their lawsuit against you. And the idea here is just to make them go sit the hell down and leave you alone. Okay, when you tie them up, now they're going to have to hire an attorney, and if they give you crap, if you get my package that we're going to be talking about later on, then you'll be able to file your lawsuit against the law firm and the attorneys in federal court. And now they're going to have to hire a federal attorney, and they're going to have to pay some money. And yeah, you see it. All this time you're making them do all this stuff. They got people over here that's just giving up. But they got to deal with you. And see, that's the way we do it here. We make them have to make a decision. Do you want to stay here and get slapped in the face, or do you want to leave me alone and go on over there and get this stuff to get the people that's easy, that ain't fighting? Now, the line of credit was created with your signature, so you shouldn't feel guilty. I mean, some people feel guilty because they feel like they used the money, Well, no. What you need to remember is the signature that's on that document to initiate that lawsuit against you. Okay, that person that signed was nowhere around when you applied to get the credit or had anything to do with the credit. third-party debt collector. You owe them nothing. As a matter of fact, they paid to get your alleged debt to harass you with. And most people don't know, if you make a payment, then the collection time starts all over. But that wouldn't be a problem in my program because we don't roll with their stuff. So let's see. I got a comment. Hey, Mike Williams, Happy New Year. Marv is in the house. What's up, What's up, Mike? Where are you from, Mike? Mike Williams? What state are you from? Kind of like to know who's watching. Anybody else watching tonight incognito? There you go. Howdy, everyone. Yeah, we're shooting tonight on several Facebook pages, and on YouTube. Yep, we're gonna move forward. So, like I was saying, some people feel guilty because they have dude. You have to remember, corporate businesses do a charge off. When they do the charge off, okay, they write your alleged debt off of their taxes and they claim it on the insurance. And any money they make on it after that is illegal. If you stop and think about it, the GAAP accounting principles, if you understand the GAAP accounting principles, which are the banking laws that they're supposed to be following, if you understand them, you will know that once the charge off is complete, there's no entries left in their paperwork to put any additional income. So that money that they make from selling these alleged debts to their buddies to come after you is illegal. And at the end of the day, the conspiracy theories connect all of them together. Yep, all of them together. So if the credit card company or whoever it is the lender, the bank, whoever it is that's giving you the line of credit, okay, after they wrote it off their tax and claimed it on their insurance, it's mail fraud, it's fraud, it's wire fraud, wire fraud, mail fraud, money laundering, because they don't count that money. All of those things, the attorney that's coming after you is a conspirator to all of those things that the original company was doing, and you want to hold them accountable. As soon as you see they're up in your face. Mike Williams from California. Yeah, you guys got it bad in California, man. The attorneys are buying up all the properties and coming after everybody. And actually, I just got a letter in the mail today from an attorney. Actually, it's from, I got it right here. It's from the State Bar of California. Now, I had an investigator from the California State Bar harassing me here a while back when I was doing my radio show on HamiltonRadio.net. And I let that fool know that he can come on the radio show anytime on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, and I'll discuss the issue with him. Otherwise, the next time I get any correspondence saying I'm doing anything illegal, and I'm going to sue them. And not only am I going to sue them for the $5.5 million, I'm also going to sue them for violation of the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, and I'm going to sue them for his bar license. And I didn't hear no more from him. So this letter I got today is from the Office of Chief Tribal Counsel. Damn, I'm nervous now. Can you guys see me shaking? Yeah. And they have received the information that I'm engaged or that my business is engaged in an ongoing basis in an authorized practice of law. But these fools don't know that I know on the Swear versus the Board of Examiners, there is the United States Supreme Court rules that no state can license the practice of law. So they have a summary of my alleged conduct and my potential legal implications and what they're pissed about, mainly what they're pissed about is not my website or I'm helping only. They're pissed about my eliminate property tax lawsuit package. Okay, that's what they're pissed about. They are pissed about my eliminating property tax lawsuit package. Now, anybody that's done any homework or looked at any of my videos on eliminating property taxes, you would know that the property tax situation is initiated by them illegally filing the deed to your property, registering it in their office, and not following the law. The real estate deed transfer laws in each state mandates that the deed is supposed to be transferred over to the new, is supposed to be delivered to the new owner. But that's not what they do. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they register it in their office so they can have control over it. And does anybody know, and I'm going to let you guys think about this for a minute. Does anybody know what the first illegal lien is that's placed against your property? Well, I'm going to help you just in case no one knows. The first illegal lien that they place against your property is the mortgage lien that they're making you pay for. Yep, think about it. Now, I have attorneys getting up in my face all the time and on Facebook and talking shit and trying to tell, you know, and this is what I tell them. Whenever a lien, the bank is accepting a lien against your property, all the owners of the property has to be present to sign, correct? Correct. Okay, now I'm talking to myself, okay? So I asked the attorney, well, yeah, okay. So when the lender accepted your signature on the lien on the mortgage against your property, you owned it free and clear, or they wouldn't have been able to accept your signature. Bam! See, this is what happens when you keep it simple. Yeah, that shuts them up every time. So the guys in California are a little grumpy about my eliminating property tax lawsuit package. But I think they're going to be more grumpy about how I handle this because I have a plan. I think I'll send them my acceptance of contractual offer, and then I'll sign the back of this and then write my $5.5 million and their law license in there. And now it'll be a contract. And I'm sending it back to them, see how they like that. Okay, we're getting off track here with the California thing. But it's really sad, man. I've seen videos of all of these people in California living on the streets, and the attorneys in California are stealing people's properties and then raising their rent and kicking them out. Yep, that's what they're doing. I had a guy tell me the other day, no, it says on mine that it was signed by the trustee. Dude, you're crazy. It was not signed by the trustee. Look at it close. Oh, it was signed by the attorney. It was signed by the attorney. So now you know that the lender is not the one suing you. It's the attorney is the one suing you, acting as a third-party debt collector. When you understand that, you get to be driver of the bus. I'm telling you. So my credit card lawsuit package, my credit card defense lawsuit package, I reduced it. It's on sale. You guys can find it on my website at winningcourtnow.com. And I could tell you how much it is, but I only want to sell it to the people that are serious about it. So if you're serious, you'll take the time to go look and see how much it's been reduced down to. Okay, so that's how we're going to roll on that. So the other thing I want to talk about is the wage garnishment. Now, this wage garnishment it's a mess. I'm telling you, the wage garnishment is a mess. Totally illegal, and I cannot believe that they get away with this shit that they're doing to people. So let me help you out with this wage garnishment. The attorneys go into court and they get a judgment against you for whatever it is, the debt that they're collecting. They're supposed to go back in court and get another judgment in order to take your money to take your wages from your check. But they don't, because people don't know they're supposed to do that. What they do is they're supposed to take you into an administrative court, and you're supposed to have opportunity to fight that judgment and do everything just like in a regular court, but you don't, because people don't know that. People think just because they got the first judgment gives them the right to take whatever the hell they want to whenever they want. And that ain't the way it goes. I mean, that's That's the way it's going, but that's not the way it's supposed to go. So the documents that they send to your employer to take your money out of your check, it's not signed by any judge. Check your paperwork. A judge ain't signed it nowhere. And you have not had a chance to oppose the attorney stealing your wages. The whole thing is done against the Constitution and against your rights. Your employer never checks to see if the document the attorney sent them is signed by a judge, and nobody thinks to ask. And if this is a problem for you, what you need to do is go to the risk department, R-I-S-K, the risk department of whoever it is you're employed by, or whoever most companies have an attorney that handles their business, and you need to talk to them. Dude, you got to take my wages based off this paperwork right here, and this shit ain't signed by no judge nowhere. So you are the ones that are responsible for this. Now, the packet that they use for this is a packet that's downloaded off the internet for the sole purpose of misleading your employer to get them to give you your money. And the wording in the paperwork is stern, and it freaks out most employers, so they just comply without checking to see if it's even a legal document. Now, I'm not sure if the employers really don't know, or if their attorneys don't say nothing. I don't know what's going on with all of that. But I know if I'm facing wage garnishment, I'm about to get up in somebody's ass and get this shit stopped, because it's totally illegal. And they're supposed to. I had one person I was helping out. She took her documents to the court to file in this wage garnishment case that they said they filed against her, and there was no case filed. And what they did to her when she got there is, instead of telling her, look, there's no case filed on this, this is ridiculous, these people are screwing you over, what they did with her was they made her file her own case. Instead of filing her paperwork in their case against her, they made her open up a whole new case against these people, against the attorneys. But she didn't know she was doing that, so she didn't know she was supposed to serve them and do all that stuff, because they led her to believe that they were filing it in the case that they filed against her. Okay, is that confusing? Okay, yeah. They pull all kind of crap. You would have no idea. And the clerks all back them up. They all work together to try to, well, in most cases, to steal your shit and throw you under the bus. Now, I tell you, if you don't believe me, do your own research. But if you're facing foreclosure and you don't have time to do your research, get your stuff filed and then do your research. If you look down at the paperwork they sent you for the wage garnishment, if you look down at the bottom of that paperwork, down underneath the number, there's usually some letters and words together. If you copy and paste those into Google, you'll probably pull up the link to the package that they used. And how do I know this? Because I did it. When I help people and I'm learning how to put together a package, I'll look at the paperwork that they have. I'll go over it with a fine-tooth comb, and I check every letter on the page to see what's going on with it. On the back, on the front, on the bottom, in the corner, over here in the top right-hand side, and the bottom down here. All of that stuff you have to check to be able to keep up with these fools. And when you check that stuff, you find that out. So what I did was I moved down the bottom of the page. What do you know? I had to get a magnifying glass. So then I scanned it in. I copy and pasted the numbers and pasted them in Google, and voila. I pulled up the package. It was it's called an administrative wage garnishment package. It's on the internet, and it don't have a damn thing to do with the judge. It's the damnedest thing. And people, you'd be surprised at how many people are getting screwed over. So my jurisdictional challenge with affidavit will blow that wage garnishment judgment up. And you'll have to make a few changes to it, because the challenge is geared toward foreclosure. But remember, we talked about the missing and acting clauses, and The missing and acting clause is something that will pertain to anything that you're facing. Let me rephrase that. Anything they're sticking in your face, that they're using codes, statutes, or ordinances. So I have not seen any code, statute, or ordinance contain the three elements necessary to be considered a valid law as per the state constitution. Now, keep in mind, there are a couple of states that don't have this in the constitution, like Georgia's one, but they do have it in the federal constitution, and the Supreme Court has ruled that these elements must be present for something to be a valid law. So for the new people, okay, if the law they're using to foreclose against you or to steal your money out of your, do a wage garnishment, steal your money, or any of that, if those laws do not have the elements necessary to be considered a valid law, then they don't give the court jurisdiction to do shit. And that's the problem. So Mike Williams, yeah, you're facing a mortgage. So yeah, in California, it's non-judicial. So Mike said they just bought a house and they're asking, and this is what Mike said, he just bought a house and he's asking for the deed, or is the deed of trust insufficient? Well, so Mike, you're going to have to, okay, so I had a guy ask me one day, he was studying my stuff, and he said, so I'm about to buy a house, so can I avoid all this? I said, well, you can avoid the problem if you can tell them, I'll register a deed myself and do it later, and then don't do it. If you tell them what you're up to, if they figure out what you're up to, they probably won't do the deal with you. So I would get the house first, sign everything, and let that rest, and then go after them for the deed later on. My eliminate property tax lawsuit package would be perfect for that, and that's kind of what we use it for. It's really, I try to eliminate property tax lawsuit package because that's what gets everybody's attention. Now, if I entitle it, let me teach you how to get control of your property deeds, you're probably telling me, well, I got control of it. It's over there in their office. They're taking really good care of it for me. Yeah, people don't realize that there's no law that mandates that you have to register your deed in their office. So if there's no law that says you got to put your shit in their office, you should be able to ask for your stuff back and cut out the property zoning issues, the short-term rental harassment that the city is giving you. You should be able to cut out all of that stuff by getting, Mike Williams said, he got my package, just having paralysis, filling it out. Got to get it done this month and not waste time. Well, paralysis, I'm not sure what paralysis are. You're paralyzed. It's not that hard to fill out. The lawsuit package, well, if you got the non-judicial package, then all you got to do is replace the red font to information. You're filing your stuff in federal court. It just takes time to sit down and watch the videos and actually get it done. And I hope you can get that rolling, because that package contains a strategy to block the eviction process. And this is what I tell people all the time. People always call me, oh, I need to stop the sale. I need to stop the sale. No, the most important thing is having a strategy to block the eviction process, because the sale can take place and you can file your stuff a week later and block all that, because after the sale, they still have to do the unlawful detainer and get you off the property. So you still have time. But if you don't have a plan to block the eviction process, you're going to be in trouble when you get down the road. Because once you go into eviction court, if you don't have your title dispute already on the record in federal court, you're going to struggle. And once you leave eviction court, you got, 10 days or sometimes less than that to get the hell off the property. And if you don't get off the property, they send someone to help you with that. So this is my website. Anybody that's facing judicial or non-judicial foreclosure, or anybody that's facing that's having them steal your money, Or if you've got these credit card people coming after you, you need to go to my website and check out the options that you have, because you have options. Let's go back over and take a look at the questions here. Oh, hi, Maria. Maria is one of our new members, and she is a fighter, just like I am, just like we are. And I want to welcome her to our group and to our program. And I'm looking forward to learning a lot from her. She's from Canada, and I'm looking forward to sitting down and talking with her and her paralegals from Canada, because I'd like to find out if what they're doing in Canada is similar to what we're doing here, and if they're doing something there that we should consider doing here, and vice versa. Because this is how we make this work, by working together, figuring out the program. Now, those of you who are using my products and my strategies, you know that we use the Facebook group to figure out what we need to do to stop these attorneys from stealing our stuff. And the real-time feedback that I get from the Facebook group members about how the attorneys are responding to their documents, or actually failing to respond to the documents. That's what we're looking at right now. The attorneys failing to respond to the documents. It helps me understand what we need to do to make sure that we're screwing the doors shut so they can't use the same crap in other people's faces in other parts of the United States. So I have people, I think I checked today, I have 580 something people in my private Facebook page. And then I also have a couple of more pages. We opened up a new page for the online course, because the online course students are studying something, have different paperwork that's been beefed up and a whole different program. So we want to keep the online course students in that group so they can talk about everything they're doing. And then the people in the lot that use the lawsuit packages and the limiting property tax are in their foreclosure rescue group. And so we're able to keep track of what they're doing. Now, I have some people that are in the online course group in the foreclosure rescue group, but they're pretty much like only there to observe. So they're muted, so they can't really talk or anything, but they can observe and see what's going on, because we have a lot more action going on in that group, because we've been doing that for a while. And the new online course has only been out for a little while. I think I have 24 or 25 students in it to date. And it's going pretty well, because I've got a couple of good reviews, not near as many reviews as I'd like to have on the online course. So if you're listening to this and you're in the online course, please give me a review after you review the documents. If you find the documents have value, then you should leave me a review so other people can see that you find the documents have value. Now, what I ask people to do is to let everyone know you're going to do a follow-up later, and follow up on the progress. I mean, even when you leave me a Google review, you can go back and update it and leave an update. I want everybody to be honest about what's going on here, because without honesty, we got shit for the program. Okay. But you guys can't make me wait until your case is over to tell other people that you're still in your house. Okay. That's not fair to me or the other people that are looking at this wondering, since what I do is totally different. I don't see anybody doing what I do, and it's totally different. So people need to know that I'm not playing, and that my stuff is serious, and that if you want to have a chance to smack the attorneys in the face and step on their throat, then you need to get in here and get going, because we don't play, and it's affordable. I have some people in the Facebook pages arguing with me today because they want me to be able to look at all their documents and stuff before they file them. And well, number one, that's a conventional program. That's what attorneys do. And I'm not interested in doing that, because I don't have time. Now, what's going to happen when I get a whole bunch of documents that everybody wants me to look at, and I don't have time to look at them before you have to go to court? Now, you guys need to understand, in this program, you're going to learn how to do it. That's the thing. And that's why you're here. I'm not an attorney. I'm an educator. And well, I know a lot of stuff about attorneys because I hate them because of what they've done, put me through. And this is my therapy, teaching people how to kick them in the face. Now, believe me, I've tried it the other way. I tried helping people, holding your hand. I tried all that stuff. The only way it works is to educate you and let you go figure it out. Because I'll tell you this, people think having all this help and all that stuff is what you need. They don't understand that the downfall for the people who don't make it, the downfall is they did not spend enough time studying the freaking information. And when the clerk called them up and started asking them questions, picking their brain to see if they know what the hell they're talking about, they did not know what the hell they're talking about. The downside is when you get on a Zoom call with the judge and the judge starts screwing with you, asking you about the payments and shit, and you start talking about the payments instead of talking about the fact that the foreclosure statute does not have the necessary elements to be considered a valid loss, or the court don't have jurisdiction. When you start talking about the payments, okay, now the judge is in agreement that you owe the debt. Yeah, they have some slick shit they do. And that's why it's important to stick with what's on the paperwork. Only talk about what's on the paperwork. And if you let the judge get you talking about other stuff, you let the judge get you down now, yep. And then the next thing you know, they'll be trying to set up an appointment with you so you can go to the attorney's office and take a look at the promissory note so you can see that it's real. Of course, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Why the hell would you need to go to the attorney's office to do that? That shit should have been filed in the court to give the court jurisdiction and to prove that the attorneys have standing. No, they don't do it like that. I wonder why. So you guys need to understand that when it's time to rock and roll, you cannot let them get away with stepping on your face without holding them accountable. Got to hold them accountable. So the other thing that we want to talk about today, next week, I want to talk about the HIPAA and third-party medical debt collections. I have I have a HIPAA violation lawsuit package, and no one's had to use it. People have bought it, but no one's had to use it. All they used was the letter. Yep. All they used was the letter, and the stinking collectors left them the hell alone. Not only left them alone, in the letter, you are demanding that they contact the credit report agency and remove the false information that they were reported, that was reported to them. And when that happens, your credit score goes up overnight. You don't have to pay these people away. You just have to make the attorneys get their happy asses over there and do it. And you do that by backing them in the corner. When they are collecting a medical debt, it's a violation of HIPAA, and it's a violation of HIPAA because your medical billing is covered under the HIPAA federal laws that protect your privacy information, your healthcare privacy information. And it's covered. It says right in there. And the HIPAA violation is some serious shit. And the way it's set up, if you can prove that they violated you, you don't get to go to court and do all that stuff. You go straight into settlement talking. Yeah. And that's pretty powerful. And that makes them straighten the hell up and do what you need to have done, because they ain't trying to drag you. And they know that if you drag them into court, you're also going to drag into court the medical facility that's been feeding them. And that's what you use when you get in their face on the phone. Now, you guys know that I'm about to call this medical facility because you don't have all the qualifications to be even looking at my stuff. So that's a problem. And like I said, so what I've done, instead of charging $500 for the lawsuit package for the HIPAA, I just took the letter out of it and put the letter on my website for freaking $20. $20. So is it worth $20 to you to have them get out of your face and go straighten up your? I think it's worth $20, and I've sold quite a few of them, and I haven't got a review on it from anybody lately. So if you bought the credit card lawsuit package and you looked at it and found that it had value or it stopped them and they went and sat the hell down, you should leave me a Google review. And when you leave a review, please be specific about what document that you're reviewing, so people can see that it's the wrongful foreclosure lawsuit package, or it's the non-judicial lawsuit package, or it's the credit card repair. I have 17 different packages on my, well, all 17 aren't showing on the website, but I do have set them all on the site. I just don't, I don't use them all yet. But I'm getting the process of setting up a new page for a new website page for the online course. And I want to show you guys that tonight before we go. Now, the new online course that I put together is for homeowners to defend their property, but the course was mainly structured for property owners, for investors who have invested in real properties and their properties are facing foreclosures or tax lien sales. Okay, either way, I have 3 people in my foreclosure defense online course that's actually defending a property foreclosure tax lien, and it's working out pretty well because all I had to do was provide them with the eliminate property tax lawsuit package to add to what I already had in the course. So, and all of these people are on the front half of it, attacking it on the front half instead of waiting until the back half where they're about to get kicked off their property. So that's working out pretty well for them. I have a couple of people in the group that have used the eliminating property tax lawsuit package. One guy's name is Roger Bordeaux or something like that. And he reported that they actually removed his property information from their computer, which is progress, but they haven't delivered his title and the deed to his property to him like it mandates in the state law for transfer of property. So, and this is the real thing. Okay, if they don't deliver your deed to you, then they're violating. It's called real estate deed fraud. And the real estate deed fraud comes in when they circumvent delivering the deed to you to register it in their office so they can start screwing you over. Now, I asked a question or sometime earlier in this stream about the real estate deed fraud, and my question was: so, does anyone know what the first illegal lien was that was put against your property? So I'm going to help you with that. The first illegal lien was the actual lien against your property, okay? Because your property was paid in full when you signed the promissory note. They turned the promissory note into a security. They stamped paid to the order of on it, and a bank president or vice president signed it, and they processed it through the Federal Reserve. And they were granted electronic credits. And according to Modern Money Mechanics publication, they were granted 9 times the amount listed for sale of the property. 9 times the amount. 9 times the amount was deposited into a demand deposit bank account. And from that account, they wrote the check to pay off the people you allegedly bought the house from. And that's why they don't give you the check and let you go buy your stuff, because the whole thing is fraud. And I know it sounds crazy. 9 times the amount. So when I was fighting for my property, I didn't learn all this fast enough, but I was learning pretty fast. And at one point in court, I told them I was suing for the $5.5 million and the other 9 times money that the Modern Money Mechanics says that they were granted and put into that account. And boy, the attorney jumped up and they started hollering and stuff, objection, and the judge was mad and started slamming and hammering down on the table at me. And the funny thing was, the night before I went to that hearing, I read all of the pages in the mortgage contract, all of them. I read all of them. And on page 11, it stated that I agreed to pay the attorney fees should my alleged loan go into default. I was like, what the hell? I agreed to do that. Anyway, so the attorney jumped up and argued and started objecting and told the judge that all I was doing was driving up the cost of litigation with this stupid nonsense. So I objected and told the judge that on page 11, it says right here that I agree to pay their attorney fees. So they're not having to pay the attorney fees. Why are they worrying about it? Yeah. I love my job. So let me get the share window here figured out. And then I'll show you guys what my new website looks like. Okay, we're going to share that one. Okay, this is what the new website looks like. And let me hide that. Yep, I've been working on this myself. Oh, let me hide this too. Let me get rid of the banner. Okay. So this is what my new website looks like. Now, you guys know I love the boxing pictures and I also love the bomber planes too, but I couldn't put the bomber planes in here because it wasn't working out. But this came out really cool. I still got some work to do on this, and we're going to be marketing this course to entrepreneurs, property owners, anybody that would like to do what I'm doing, to start out doing what I'm doing, helping other people. Okay, my online course has everything that you need to start your own paralegal service and help people fight against foreclosures. And eventually I'll have third-party debt collectors and all that other stuff too. But right now, this is the first one I'm doing. I'm really working hard trying to figure all that stuff out, but it's coming along pretty well. So this course and this is the judicial wrongful foreclosure lawsuit course. It has 28 foreclosure defense documents, 15 lectures, and access to 148 YouTube videos. And you guys should have been to my YouTube videos. You know I don't be playing around. So I'll be laying it down for you guys to use if you understand and can use it. So I'm going to, in this course, you'll have all the documents, you'll have all of the lectures, you'll have access to, obviously you have access to my YouTube channel, and then we also have group coaching. So in my beautiful world, it'd be nice to have people that are interested in doing what I'm doing and helping other people fight foreclosures, invest in the online course. You'll have everything. It's on teachable.com. You'll have everything lined out that you need. And we're still adding things. Like, for instance, last month I added 4 new lectures. The main one was on how to properly state a claim for relief. And I also added in the online course a claim for relief that you can copy and paste into your document, because I didn't change all the documents. I just added stuff to it because it's a real pain to change everything after I've already got it pasted. So I just added stuff to it. So you would have this updated claim to copy and paste in your lawsuit if you didn't have time to do all of this when you found us. And if you had time to do all this when you found us, then you can go on there and you can figure out how to do it yourself. And I provided a guide sheet to follow. So you can look at that guide sheet and make sure that you're doing everything that you need to state the claim for relief, just like the attorneys do. And it's kind of funny because I don't like doing nothing like the attorneys do. As a matter of fact, you'd ask me if I was like, oh, hell no. But I have a few people that, because, you know, the way we roll, by the time we get done adding all the information and all the stuff in there, and the attorney has an M1 defendant and all of that, and the law firm and all of that, they're totally screwed anyway. But there have been a couple of judges that tried to help attorneys by agreeing to dismiss the lawsuit because it didn't probably state a claim for relief like the attorneys want to do it. So I'm like, you know what, the hell with it. We're going to just learn how to do it. So I did. And it was pretty damn easy. I was like, damn, shit, did this a long time ago. But it's done now. And we added that to the group. Now, into the curriculum. Now, I also add things depending on how things go. So I've got a couple of people now that are at a point to where we're going after the judge for illegally dismissing your jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And what we're finding is in this program, we're learning how to cut to the chase. So we ain't got time to be doing all the hearings and kissing their butt and answering to all their stuff. We're learning how to cut to the chase. And when you cut to the chase, the judge is going to help them because the attorney cannot respond to the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And stop and think about it, they can't respond by counter affidavit because they're lying. So that's a problem for them right off the bat to have a jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit attached to it and have that in the title. So they can't, when they read that on their website, they see it's a jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And I have not had one attorney respond by counter affidavit. Not one. Not one. So there you go with that. So I'm telling people already, they're not going to be able to respond. So go ahead and get your documents together that you need to smack the judge, because the judge is going to have to let them through in order for, and so the judge don't have to give back the money. That's my thinking, okay? Because I believe they've already split up the money from the sale of your house. I think they do that long before they get around doing all this other paperwork and all this other crap, because they're so used to getting away with what they're doing, they don't give a crap about anybody else. And now we're making them have to like figure out how they're going to do that. Now, Shamel Maxwell, she used a jurisdictional challenge, and she's in a Facebook page, in the Facebook group, foreclosure rescue groups. She used a jurisdictional challenge to block the sale of her dad's house. And I think she's in Georgia. I think, I don't know, everybody's from all the different places starts running together. I think she's from Georgia. And when they got her stuff, I told her she needed to mail her stuff in. She needed to make sure that they signed for it. Because now with this COVID-19, you know, we have even less powers that you can't show up and get in their face. So they signed for it. And when she called down there to make sure that they had it, because she didn't see it on the website, on the docket sheet, they told her it was lost. Yeah, well, I already knew they were going to tell her that. So we already had the document ready that she needed. And I sent it over to her. And the next day she did she amended her complaint, and she added, the clerk that signed for her document. She added that clerk to her lawsuit. And then she filed it. And when they looked at that, they started freaking out. Yeah. And they made some kind of comment to her that her legal team is making some pretty powerful documents. Yeah. And all of a sudden they found her. Yeah. Funny how that is. It was lost, but now it's not. It's lost, but now it's not. So when they found it, she told them that they better put it on the docket sheet from the day that the dude signed for it to pick it up from the court, from the post office. If not, then we're going to leave it on there, and the rest of the people that's involved in this will all be added to the lawsuit as well. And yeah, they did. They straightened it up. They straightened it hell up, and they stopped the sale. And then they tried 4 more times to sell her dad's property. And she's still up in their face. They ain't used to being stomped on. They ain't used to having their neck stomped on. That's for sure. But if you get in my program, that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm just checking out some of the. Steve says, Happy New Year. So what's your question, Michael Lewis? Maybe I'll answer it. So if you, let me finish showing you guys the rest of my website here. I'm getting carried away here looking at all that. So there's the ones you want to click enroll. And then enroll in my course so that you can learn how to make the attorneys and judges stop laughing at you in court. Huh. I think that's the top one. So that you can use the foreclosure defense strategy that's powerful, that is so powerful that it can block the eviction process. Now, in my non-judicial foreclosure package, we not only block the eviction process, we have a strategy in there to remove the eviction process over to federal court to be connected with your title dispute. Because here's the deal. Eviction court can only make a determination on immediate possession. And title dispute trumps immediate possession because the immediate possession cannot be determined until a title dispute has been settled. So if you have your title dispute filed in federal court, then you file your motion in the packet to challenge the eviction court jurisdiction, and then you have a notice of removal, and you take your file stamp copy of the document challenging eviction court jurisdiction, you attach it to the notice of removal, and you take it over to federal court, and you tell them to add this to your title dispute. And when they look at you and ask you like, what the hell? You tell them, look, immediate possession cannot be determined until a title dispute's been settled. And the title dispute is going to be settled in this court. So what I'm going to need you guys to do is to attach this immediate possession issue to my title dispute, because state court don't have jurisdiction for a whole bunch of reasons, starting out with the higher court has jurisdiction, and I just removed it and I challenged all of those reasons. So state court's done. And when this court is finished, we'll have, it'll be determined, the title dispute will be determined, and the court won't have to have a hearing on immediate possession because it'll be settled. Either they'll go sit the hell down or, yeah. So that's how you do that. Now, state court don't like getting slapped in the face. So usually what I tell people to do is just go ahead and ask the federal court clerk to call over there and let those fools know that their case has been moved over to federal court. Yeah, that's how we do it. Keep it simple. And then if they don't do what they're supposed to, I've added, a lot of times attorneys will try to keep filing stuff. So I put together a restraining order that you can file against the attorney to block the attorney from filing any additional stuff in the case when they ain't proved jurisdiction on the record. Now, that restraining order can be used against the judge as well. So, and there's actually the reconsideration package has been added to both the judicial and non-judicial lawsuit packages, because we're finding out that the judge has helped these people. So we need to put a provision together, a strategy to spank the judge. And so I just added the reconsideration package to both packages. So now in the non-judicial lawsuit package, there's like 24 documents. And you have the documents you need to demand reconsideration, object to the judge's ruling. You have the documents you need to strike the judge's ruling because you filed a motion to recuse the judge. You have a document to strike the judge's ruling. You also have a notice of claim against the judge, which is your lawsuit. All you got to do is take notice out and just put 5.5 million in front of that or whatever. Okay. And you have all access to all that stuff in your package. So my goal was to have a package that has everything you need to get control of this situation, so I don't have to nickel and dime you like attorneys do, and to make it affordable. I had some people in one of their groups was giving me a hard time today because they need somebody to read over their documents and they hold their hand, do all this stuff. We don't have time for that. Okay, if you got to do that, you might want to have to go in another group because we don't have time for that. My time that I'm spending is to make sure that the documents are effective and that to make sure that they're affordable. Those are things that I worry about. And I tell people, and people get pissed off when I tell them, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm a coach, and I'm going to tell you. My job is not to make it easy for you. My job is to help you learn. Big difference. Now, with that said, I don't go around trying to make it difficult, but when people call me and ask me, hey, do I have this document in my package that I can use? I don't know. Go check your damn packets, you know? So, so my goal is to provide an effective service that people can afford. And that's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on trying to read everybody's stuff. I'm trying to make it easy for you or any of that. Okay, because it's not easy. And it takes a lot of work. But here's the thing. I've got years of research in what I'm doing, and I'm very good at it. If you can figure out a way to learn it and follow the rules that I have to learn it, you'll be fine. Our goal is not to go before the judge and have the judge rule for you and all that, because that ain't happened yet. Okay. Our goal is to build your record on the court that you're going to use to sue the judge with when the judge starts helping them fools. Okay, that's what we're doing. Oh, wait, appeal? The hell with that. Why should you do the appeal? It don't matter who you sue. Okay, it don't. It don't matter if you sue the judge, you sue the attorney, or you sue the clerk, or you sue all of their asses. It don't matter. The important thing is you're holding somebody accountable for what they're putting you through. Happy New Year. So let me finish scrolling down here so you guys can see what we're doing here. We've got a half price sale on the online course, and that sale is going to be for the next 30 days. Now these days will start when you log on. It'll start the 30 days from the time you log on. That's the way I've got this set. And then the most asked questions. And this is the video right here about how to properly state a claim for relief. Now I'm changing these. I have these. Now this video I'm going to leave in, and this one too. But I'm going to change this one and put the new one that I'm working on now in there. And then the course curriculum. This is part of it. I'm still working on this. I have a bunch of other stuff to add to this. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to set this part up. And my guarantee is you got 1 week. 1 week to decide if my online course has value that you need. And if you decide within a week that this is not going to work for you, I will refund your money 100%. Because I ain't trying to play around. And I ain't trying to have nobody here that don't see the value in what I'm doing. And I'm actually working on another video to put here too. So, man, this has been a lot of work putting this website together. And as you can see, this is another language right here. I speak Spanish, but I don't know what the hell that is. So I'm going to have to change all that. I still got some work to do on this, but it's coming along. So let me stop the screen share. So I'm going to leave a link in the group to this new website that I'm putting together. And I would appreciate it if you guys would share it on your Facebook pages and share it everywhere. So anybody that's facing foreclosure would have an opportunity to either get in the course or to invest in one of the lawsuit packages, or just the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit package is still on sale for only $200. And that document has been stopping the foreclosures left and right and sending everybody back to the drawing board. So if you don't, and the reason I put that at $200 because I know there's a lot of people that thought that the moratorium stopped everything. And so when they got the letters from the attorney or whatever, they didn't pay no attention to them. And pretty soon, those people are going to find out that the only thing that the moratorium did was stop them from kicking you out of your house on the street. It didn't stop the court process. So now you're in default. And when the moratorium is lifted, your butt's going to be dragged into the unlawful detainer eviction court process. And if you don't have your shit filed, you're going to be in trouble. Now, this jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit would be perfect to use to block the state court process, to block the eviction process. So if you're in a non-judicial foreclosure, you can use it to block the eviction process or even block the sale. Now, you're going to have to get it filed before the day of the sale because you know how they roll. If you wait that close to do it, they're going to leave your shit sitting in the basket. But like I said, it doesn't matter as long as you get it filed. They can leave it sitting in the basket. As long as you get it filed, they're still going to play hell kicking your butt off the property. So that's all I got tonight, guys. I will see you guys probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to put this this new website together, and I think it's pretty much, I'm almost finished with it. So hopefully I'll get that done at the beginning of the week, and I can get back to my normal life of helping people harass attorneys. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, and I will see you on the next live streams.